This is an EKB TV News special report.
I'm Cindy Mae Johnson.
And I'm Shannon Deskins.
Shannon, since this morning we've been hearing issues about our water service in the region.
Correct, and it looks like we're going to have a few days of very little to no water throughout the county, and that's something we want to stress is when we say Pike County, we're talking Pike County and those serviced by the city of Pikeville.
That's right. The city of Pikeville and Pike County, as well as some other outlying counties, are experiencing outages in water. We spoke earlier with Donovan Blackburn from the city of Pikeville. We have a lot going on in our community today.
We do, Cindy. That's an understatement. There's quite a few things happening due to the recent weather event.
Well, thank you for being here. We began to get reports just a short while ago from both the county and the city, and I think this is a great opportunity for you to address everyone about those reports. Let's start with what the city has issued.
We have issued an advisory asking people right now to conserve water. That's our biggest concern. Over the next couple of hours, there's probably going to be widespread water outages throughout the city. At this time, the intake system that is in our river that pulls the water to the water treatment plant is taking no water in. So the treatment plant is completely empty at this point. What we're living on right now is simply the water that's in the storage tanks. Our concern is that by this announcement going out that people are going to automatically run to their bathtubs and their sinks and fill them up. We urgently ask people please not to do that. There are still some businesses that need to remain in business at this point. There's people that are depend upon obviously a basic service of water for their needs. We're hoping with the plan that we have that we'll be able to restore water to a minimum capacity maybe later in the day. But it still won't be anywhere near where it needs to be at that point.
So the main message right now is that throughout the city of Pikeville, there are already some water outages. You anticipate later today, all city water will be essentially down for a time period.
Yeah, just for clarification too, it's the city of Pikeville's water system because we also serve the city of Coal Run all the way down to the Floyd County line is within our own system. So anybody that receives the city of Pikeville water bill, be aware that you are probably going to experience outages today. There are some areas that we're working with, such as the hospital, for a backup tank to make sure that the hospital is able to continue having water through this crisis. But hopefully, again, by the end of the day, we hope to have a new pump back online. The problem is, just being very candid, is with the inclement weather that came in, we have the river, that some areas of the river was freezing up, some areas of the creeks froze up, so you have all the ice that came into the river. On top of that, the dam is doing controlled releases, which is stirring up the mud and the sediment. So the intake system that pulls the water down around the Allen Creek Bridge into the city's water system is completely clogged up. So the telemetry has stopped working at all. We have a backup pump that we put in. The river's in such a condition that the backup pump also clogged. So now we have a new pump system with a different filtration system coming out of Huntington. We hope to have that hooked up today by 3 or 4 o'clock. But even after we get that plug hooked up, the fear is with the depletion of the water as we have encountered over the past couple of hours, it's going to it takes a couple of hours to get the tanks filled back up at the water treatment plant. It takes a couple of hours to treat the water, and then you have to send it to the tank for it to distribute to the other tanks. So it's going to be at least till tomorrow until we get partial capacity back up and running, which we think we can get back to possibly a half, but probably 2 weeks before we're able to get actually back up and running at full capacity.
I think it's important to note that concurrent with the announcement that the city issued, Mountain Water District, yes, which serves, I think, all of the rest of Pike County, also issued a very, very similar statement. So throughout Pike County and that coverage area, the same situation going on. I understand that Mountain Water District also buys some water from the city, correct, so there is it's just a domino effect in that way. So I think the main messages that we want to get out to people right now: conserve water. That does not mean save up water.
Absolutely. That's again, if there's no other message we can send, we ask you to please conserve, because we should have, again, water back up online by this evening, starting to fill the tanks. We won't see the immediate benefit of that until sometime probably tomorrow morning, but hopefully we'll have water back in the homes by tomorrow. Again, we ask you, even after you receive water, you're going to notice low water pressure. We ask you to please conserve. Use it only when necessary. The other piece of this is, because of the complexity of these water systems, getting the telemetry back up and running, is because of the condition of the river. The certified diver that has to go and actually clean out the intakes actually has to come from Washington State. The current condition of the river is in such a way that it's not safe to go into the water. So that's why we're saying that it could be a couple of days before we actually have the main intake up and running. We're going to be in low capacity with what we're bringing in under the temporary pump system. So please, again, we just ask people to be aware and conserve. We talked about earlier the weather that's moving, and also it's a natural instinct at night because you don't want your lines freezing off to turn your valve, your faucets on. The problem is that more people do that, the more it depletes the system, even when it's up and pumping. So it's going to even take longer for us to be able to charge the system back up. So there are some precautions you can take at night if you have sub-zero degree weathers and you're prone to freeze offs. This past week we had several. Matter of fact, yesterday was probably the worst day that we've had in my tenure of pipes bursting throughout the city, and it's simply because we had the real cold temperatures of -15, and then you have a quick warm up. And because of the expansion and contraction, pipes burst. We will have cool weather, but it won't be to that level. So if you've got areas where faucets, open the bottom cabinets up, let the heat circulate throughout the area. But again, the worst thing we can do to really hurt our system is to open the valve at all.
All right. We do want to make sure that everyone knows that the city is on top of the situation. I think it's very important because some of the first questions that come to mind, what about the hospital? Of course, we've talked to President and CEO of Pikeville Medical Center, Walter May. He wants everyone to know that at this time there appears to be a very adequate supply to take care of patients at the hospital. And, of course, administration and maintenance will be monitoring that situation closely. I know there will be questions about what about the event of a structure fire? How will our fire departments handle this?
Well, again, the problem is we have pumper tanks. We ask people to please pay attention to what you're doing. It's a very good point with space heaters and those different things. You don't want to put anything out there, obviously, that can create another obstacle. Because when the tanks are low, then in relation to that, the hydrants have no water or pressure. We do have pumping mechanisms in our fire trucks, so we do have a short supply of water in case of an emergency. But again, we ask for people to really pay attention to what they're doing, not only with the water, but also, it's a very good point, with the electrical or kerosene heaters and all those different things that create an obstacle. The other issue that we'd like to get out there is that we hope by 3 o'clock today, that we do have a tractor trailer load supply of water coming in that will be at Station 1. That's the station on Cloy. That any resident of the Pikeville or anybody served by the City of Pikeville's water system, we will limit it out of the box to probably 2 cases per person. So we will have a supply, and if more is needed, then we'll have a backup to bring more in.
Will people need to bring containers?
No.
Okay.
No, they'll be in crates or in boxes. So we'll give you 2 boxes or 2 cases. You'll be able to haul them away. They're traditionally in milk jug type water containers.
And that again will be at the fire department at the mouth of Cloy Creek in the city of Pikeville.
Yes, we hope to have there by 3 o'clock today.
And I do understand water distribution stations already being set up throughout the county as well.
Yes.
We have that listing for our people that are listening and watching right now. I know that you will keep us apprised. We will try to keep everyone apprised of the situation as it goes on. It's been a long week for the city, the county, for everybody that is dealing with this weather and then the results of the weather.
Well, Cindy, my 11 years as city manager, the first time that I've seen a almost 2-foot snow event, and then behind that we had ice, we had rain. Anything that you could have asked for in 1 week, it's happened. The sub-zero degree temperatures. And speaking of that, one other comment that I'll make, because of the sub-zero degree temperatures, we're still expecting some negative degrees at night coming up this week. One of the things you can do to help is, if you know where your water meter is in your yard, go out and uncover it. Be aware of where it's at, because what's happened all day yesterday, as a matter of fact, is that we have a break. The fire department is the first responders on scene, and nobody knows where the water meter is to shut the water off. So we end up an extra 30 minutes of water running in the home or in the business before that the utility company can arrive. So if you can cover your meter, at least be aware of where your meter is, that will help us as well.
That's a really important point. With temperatures tonight expected to be down around 15, we will have another freeze, but it won't be the kind of sub-zero temperatures that we were experiencing just a few days ago. Again, you're urging people conserve, but do not save water.
That is the message. And I would be remiss. I do want to commend UMG, the fire department, police department. They've done, this week has been very trying for them. We've worked 24 hours a day, per se, trying to get the snow removed, and on top of that, then ice removal, and then all these water leaks. So they worked through the night, UMG did, to try to get the telemetry back online. Unfortunately, this is a hand we've been dealt by Mother Nature that could not be helped. But we'll keep the community informed of what and where we're heading with this, but we hope we'll have a resolve very soon.
The main message here, if you still have water, don't hoard it, but conserve it.
Right. Everything that you do, just do in lesser amounts than you would normally do. I wouldn't do drinking water out of the faucet. If you have bottled water, drink it that way. Just be conservative.
If you don't have water at this time, there are distribution points available. I know you talked to Doug Tackett with Pike County about that.
Yeah, basically a system-wide outage for Mountain Water District due to various problems. Some of it's related to frozen pipelines on customer sides that had broken and basically bled the system out. The other problem is they're unable to make water at the water plant because of the intakes being blocked with debris and ice. They get it from the Russell Fork of the Big Sandy up at Regina. They also buy some water from Pikeville. Pikeville's having the same issues, and also from Williamson Water, and they're having the same issues as well. If you can get out and buy water, the best thing to do is go ahead and try to get you some water now. We are bringing water in for distribution, and it will be going to some local fire departments for distribution. We'll have a list of those out a little bit later today. We're getting them set up now. We're going to be using the Expo Center for a distribution hub, so to speak. Water will come into the Expo Center, and we will send it to the distribution points from there. You cannot come to the Expo Center and pick up water. Basically, it's going to be a temporary problem. It's all based on the weather. It's all weather related, and it should be resolved in a matter of a couple of days, hopefully.
Again, there are water distribution points set up, Shannon.
Yes, and this includes, like we said earlier, the city and those served by the city and the county. Those distribution points are in the city of Pikeville, Fire Station 1. That's the mouth of Cloy Creek in Pikeville. Now the distribution points for the county: Belfry Fire Department, Station number 2. Big Creek Fire Department, Blackberry Fire Department, Station number 2. Elkhorn City Fire Department, Feds Creek Fire Department, Station 1. Johns Creek Fire Department, Station 1, Kimper Fire and Rescue Station 1, Marrowbone Fire Department, Station 1, Millard and East Shelbiana Fire Department, number 1, Phelps Fire Station 1, and the Shelby Valley Fire Department, Station number 1.
Certainly the city and the county working very hard to make sure everyone is covered at this time. And we've been covered up with talking about the weather, which of course is what brought us to this place right now.
And that is one, I guess we could say, bright spot out of this entire thing, is to know that this is weather related. It was brought on by the recent storm, but it's temporary.
Let's go to Lathan Hopkins, EKB Chief Meteorologist, with an update on your forecast.
I want to bring you up to date with the latest on the watches, warnings, advisories that we have across the region. As of right now, the only warning that we have is a flood warning, and that is in effect for pretty much everyone in eastern Kentucky, western West Virginia, and southwest Virginia. That flood warning for Johnson, Martin, Floyd, Pike, Magoffin, Knott, and Letcher County, that will go all the way through this evening and will likely be extended depending on some of the levels of the creeks, the streams, and the rivers across the region. For Mingo and Logan counties, also Buchanan and Dickinson counties, that flood warning will go in effect all the way through this evening as well. Really, the only area not included in the flood warning is Wise County down in southwest Virginia. So we are not alone when we are talking about the high water issues that we have across the region. Now, yesterday with the heavy rain, really concerned with the creeks and the streams. Today, we're going to focus on the rivers for just a little bit because we could see those begin to creep up here over the next couple of days. Now, this is the Leviza Fork at Pikeville. Currently, it was about 17 feet, just a little over 17 feet at last check. Now, this is still well below flood stage, which is at 35 feet. And it's not really until you get to 35 feet that we start running into some issues. So as of right now, Pikeville, things are looking okay. As long as we stay pretty much right around the 16, 17, 18 foot level, things should be okay. Now, as we head into Paintsville, it's looking even better. At the current stage, just shy of 20 feet, flood stage 35 feet. And you can see on this forecast chart, it's actually expected to crest about 21 feet and then really start to go downhill as we move through the week. So that would be definitely good news if this forecast pans out. Again, this is at the Leviza Fork in Paintsville. We will continue to keep you up to date with the latest on that. The good news is this is a 5-day forecast that a lot of folks want to see. Of course, we could see a few flurries overnight tonight, maybe a couple of snow showers. Temperatures tonight, 15 degrees. Take it easy on the roads. A lot of water on the roads. 15 degrees, yes, it will freeze and we will run into problems with ice tomorrow morning. 23, that's it for the high tomorrow, but looking dry. Monday, Tuesday, temperatures back in the 30s by Tuesday, above freezing for a change. And then even as we head into the latter part of the week, temperatures remaining in the mid-30s.
Thank you, Lathan. And just in case you're just now joining us, we are into a situation where we've got severe water shortages and outages throughout all of Pike County.
We want to make sure that you're kept informed. Remember, you can stay tuned to the radio and television stations of East Kentucky Broadcasting. This report will be repeated throughout the afternoon as long as it's relevant, and we'll keep you updated. Also doing that on social media, Shannon.
Yes, ma'am. So we're covering everything as far as radio, television, and social media. So whether you're out on your phone or at your home around your television, make sure you keep us tuned in, because as soon as these people give us more information, we will pass it on to you.
Remember the main points. If you don't have water right now, water distribution points are being opened. If you do have water, please conserve it. Don't try to hoard it. Again, stay tuned to East Kentucky Broadcasting for more information.